Hello, everyone. Welcome to the third episode of the Pro Football Talk podcast. Once again, I'm Alec, joined by Thomas and Tristan. Sadly, Thomas, we had to make some tough financial cuts this week because due to the budget and, Tristan, we need Tristan because he records and edits. I'm kind of the host here, so I kind of need to stay. And to let everyone know out there, it was between a coin flip between Tony and Thomas, and Thomas picked. He made his right choice, and poor. No, I'm kidding. Tony, something came up. Emergency came up with Tony, so he couldn't make it tonight. But he will be back next week, and it'll be a full crew again. And so now it's just me and Thomas. So Thomas, how you doing, man? How you doing?
Doing well. Just ready to talk some football, talk some sports, and ready to get it in. About you?
Same. Definitely ready because we had a great weekend of football.
I thought so too. Honestly, thought it was a good week.
Yeah, I mean, it was
a lot of tough matchups, a lot of tough games,
a lot of close, high rating games that really kind of caught a lot of people's attention, I think. Let's just start off real quick recapping the game from Monday night between the Giants and the Bengals. New York held on to a 1-point lead late in the fourth, and they won 21-20. Thomas, did you catch any of that game on Monday night?
Monday night?
Yeah, the Giants and the Bengal game.
I did not, actually.
Well, I will say the Giants surprised me because I figured this would be a Bengal offense that, has been on fire as of late. And the Giant defense really kind of stunned me because they shut down A.J. Green. Tyler Eifert had a big catch early in the game, but other than that, you really didn't hear from him. And also you throw in Bernard and Hill just cannot run the ball at all. And then before the game, Odell Beckham was quoted by saying, "This is a Super Bowl caliber defense." And that really just caught my attention because on paper, all of the free agents that they brought in and the offseason, all the money they spent really is looking like it's paying off now because they just shut down a legit Bengal offense. Mm-hmm. And then from the Cincy side of things, the AFC West is still, or the AFC North, is still completely open because right now, Baltimore is your best team in that division, and they are not the best team, in my opinion. The Steelers lost to the Cowboys, and the Bengals lost to the Giants and Cleveland. I really don't want to talk about Cleveland a whole lot. I kind of got too hyped. I got too hyped.
You don't? You don't?
I got too hyped. I got too hyped last week, and I fell for the Believeland magic, and then I remembered it is the city of Cleveland. They never get anything done right there, except for basketball. They get that right, but nothing else.
And you see, I knew it, but peer pressure just made me want to say, "Oh, Cleveland's going to have their first win." When I knew that wasn't going to happen,
everyone learn from Thomas's mistakes here. Never fall for peer pressure. Always stick to your gut. Otherwise, you'll end up picking the Cleveland Browns to win a game, which no one should ever do. Never pick the Browns to win, just because that never happens. So, lesson here is, kids, don't fall into peer pressure. Always trust your gut. Otherwise, you end up like poor old Thomas falling into the Cleveland bandwagon, and you get kicked off that bandwagon pretty quickly. I would think so.
And I swear it always seems like they start off pretty hot. They start off pretty good, and then they just I don't know what happens. They just all fall. Nobody can make really big plays to keep them up.
In the second half. Yeah. Well, I mean, the Indians blew a 3-1 lead in the World Series. Can we not forget that? Maybe that's where the trend has started. People talk about LeBron James. Coming back from a 1-3 deficit, but the Indians blew a 3-1 lead. So yeah, I think the Browns blowing leads at halftime has also become a tradition in the lovely city of Cleveland. I would think so. But Thomas, you mentioned a bunch of close games and good games this week. I know you want to talk about Dak and Zeke and your boys having that epic win against Pittsburgh. So I'll let you go right into it. What did you see from these past few games over the weekend, and what did you see?
I thought, honestly, both offenses looked really well, and that's coming. And I'm talking about like the Pittsburgh offense and the Dallas offense. I honestly thought the defenses are really what killed both teams, because it wasn't a perfect game on like either team. Dallas let 30 points, like be scored by the Steelers, and then the Steelers let 35 points on the other hand. So it was a nice back and forth game. It was really, nail biting. It went down. It obviously came down to like the last couple seconds, and it kind of seemed like the Steelers were gonna like score in those 9 seconds that they had.
Oh, yeah,
I got a little scared. I just saw like Antonio Brown catch it and then just started running. I was like, dude, there's nobody there. Where is everybody at? But I forgot everybody was by the goal line protecting it. So like it was a good game. It was a good day to be a Cowboys fan, definitely. But I thought Big Ben. Honestly thought he had a great game.
Yeah, coming back from the injury and then struggling against the Ravens last week. I agree. Big Ben
he had a great game.
Did you like that fake spike that he pulled on the Cowboy defense at the end of the game? Did you like that?
I did like that, honestly. that was really gutsy. But it he pulled it off. So
it's Big Ben. I mean, it's Big Ben. But I think talk about the Cowboy game, like you said, that was a high power offensive explosion from the get go. And I think the one thing that really hurt the Steelers wasn't their defense necessarily. It was Mike Tomlin making very questionable decisions, like going for 2 4 times after, in that game.
And if you think about it, if they didn't go for 2 and just would have elected to go for the field goal, it would have been 34-35. And honestly, like they probably could have won by a field goal if they just would have been safe. Yeah, if they would have just played it safe. All those times they went for 2 points, they could have had easy 1 point. It could have been 34-35. They could have gotten the field goal range somehow, and won the game.
Yeah, that's definitely true because in the end, both teams finished 0 for 6 on 2-point conversions. The Steelers were 0 for 4. Dallas was 0 for 2 towards the end of the game. But I think one thing I take away from this Cowboy team is they can go toe to toe with the best teams in the NFL. That's what I take away. You saw them handle Green Bay with no problem, handle Cincinnati no problem. Their first real test came against the Eagles, and they were down in the fourth quarter and struggling. And they came together, won in overtime. And then you go to Pittsburgh, where they're much better at home. And then you throw in, the conditions of the weather, the terrible Tau fans. And it's a tough place to play in Pittsburgh, honestly. And to see those Cowboys rally and go toe-to-toe with Big Ben, Antonio Brown, and Le'Veon Bell in that offense, that just made me think these guys could probably go toe-to-toe with New England, maybe with Seattle, Oakland. They can go toe-to-toe with anyone, I think, right now in the NFL. And I think they deserve to be named the best team in football right now. But we'll get into those power rankings that you're looking forward to a little later.
And something to note that probably it kind of surprised me when I was looking at it. Is the Cowboys? They have the number 3 rushing defense in the NFL, only allowing 82.6 yards per game.
Under 100 yards.
I thought that was pretty neat. The number 1 rushing defense is the Baltimore Ravens, who they play on Sunday. So
yeah,
it's going to be a good one.
Number 1 defense, number 1 offense, or classic matchup of high-powered offense against a very stout and very good defense. But like you mentioned, I believe at one point, it was it before the Packer game, I believe, when the Cowboys didn't allow a 100-yard receiver or a 100-yard rusher at one point, and then that really surprised me because Thomas, me and you know this, but at the beginning of the year, we didn't think the Cowboys needed Ezekiel Elliott. Is this true or is this not true? We both thought that. We both thought that they didn't need Zeke.
And honestly, like, I'm not gonna say I still do believe that, but like it's still in me a little bit. I really do think you need a corner more than you need a running back. You still have Alfred Morris, Lance Dunbar, and Darren McFadden. He says he's healthy enough to get back on the field. It's just a matter of time because he's not really going to get much time behind Ezekiel Elliott, and Alfred Morris.
And if people forget, Darren McFadden was a 1,000-yard rusher. And let me repeat that. Darren McFadden was a 1,000-yard rusher last year with the Cowboys. So he's
on a 4-12 team.
Exactly. He was not the reason why they were struggling. And then Tony stuck by his Zeke theory before the draft. He said they needed Zeke. They wanted Zeke. And me and you both agree that Jalen Ramsey probably was a player that they needed at the time because put it in this perspective of the Cowboys secondary at that time. They had Brandon Carr, who I think is still the worst corner in football right now, honestly.
Probably have to agree with you.
Probably the worst corner. You had Scandrick coming off of the ACL injury, and usually corners coming off the ACL injuries, they never work out well especially that first year. They never are the player they used to be, coming off the ACL injury that first year. And then you have Mo Claiborne, which you did not know what you're getting out of Mo Claiborne, in all seriousness. You did not know what you're getting out of the guy,
And he turned out to be like one of the top corners in the league at the very beginning.
Exactly. And it's just like, but at the time of the draft, you felt like they needed a shutdown corner to help out that secondary. But, like this Cowboy team in general, it has surprised everyone how good the defense is. And you mentioned the third rushing defense. That's impressive with that front seven, considering how thin they are at the defensive line and linebacker position, how thin they are, and to see them doing what they're doing now, like I said earlier, they could probably go toe-to-toe with some of the best teams in football, in all seriousness, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But enough about the games this week, Thomas. Let's get into the headlines of the NFL this week, and there were quite a few good ones that came out. Actually, today, the Seahawks did release Christian Michael, which probably indicates that Thomas Rawls is going to be healthy. But Michael has already been claimed. Do you know who claimed him, Thomas?
Who?
The Green Bay Packers put in a claim for Christian Michael. So he will not be heading up to Green Bay, which makes sense because that's the one team that cannot run the ball to save it. Yeah, they cannot run the ball to save their life. They have two receivers at the depth chart listed at running back, Randall Cobb and Todd Montgomery, so they need the help there. But that obviously is not the biggest headline of these last couple of days. The biggest headline probably is that the Rams announced that Jared Goff will start in place of Case Keenum this week against the Dolphins. Yes, so Thomas, what do we think? Do we think Goff is going to be the number one overall pick player that we expect him to be, or do you think he's going to struggle against the Dolphins this week?
I don't know, because the Dolphins, they look pretty dominant against the Chargers on Sunday. I think it was like 4 turnovers and a touchdown or something like that.
Yeah, 4 picks in the fourth quarter alone. 4 picks in the fourth quarter against Phillip Rivers. So if they can do that to a seasoned veteran, imagine what they'll do to the rookie quarterback.
Yeah, that's honestly that's pretty impressive. But you never know. A lot of number one draft picks are not exactly known to, prove that they're worth the number one draft spot. But it could be a different story. It could not. It's really like unpredictable. You can't really predict what's going to happen. I honestly don't know.
Yeah, then the thing with the Rams, in my opinion, is it's about time they made a change with Case Keenum because he is tied for the league leader in interceptions. And also, you throw in that they have not run the ball well with Todd Gurley this year. I would know. I drafted Gurley in fantasy football, number 1 overall. Worst mistake of my life, and I've had tons of those. But easily drafting Todd Gurley at number 1, biggest mistake of my life. So I'm not sure if Goff is going to help save the Rams offense, but I'm excited. I'll stand by this still to this day. I think Goff is the better quarterback than Carson Wentz. I still believe that, and I hope he does not let me down. Otherwise, I'll throw him in the doghouse with the Cleveland Browns. You do not want to be in that doghouse. I already have the Browns in there. You do not want to be in that doghouse. I will say that. But any kind of crazy stat you want to throw out for Jared Goff prediction-wise Sunday? How many touchdowns he's going to throw? How many yards? How many picks? Just give us a general idea. What you think?
You know what? Let me think a little bit. If you have like a prediction already, I'd like to hear yours. But
I'm gonna say Jared Goff throws for I'm gonna say 232 yards, 1 touchdown, and 2 interceptions. That's my prediction. That's I feel like that's right in the neighborhood of Jared Goff. His first game. That's what I'm thinking.
You know what? I was thinking something like that, but yards. I'm gonna say about like 267 yards. I'm gonna say 3 touchdowns.
Oh, okay.
And I'm gonna say 1 interception.
Okay, Thomas, you're showing faith in the kid already.
It's just a prediction. I'm not saying this kid's gonna be the greatest thing ever, greatest thing since rice bread.
This man's about to resurrect the Rams.
I think he's gonna have a fairly decent game.
I like it. We'll see come Sunday. Rams playing or at home against the Dolphins, so we'll see how that goes for Jared Goff's first start. But obviously, Thomas, that was not the headline news yesterday. The biggest news in the NFL yesterday was Tony Romo came out at the press conference, spoke to the media for the first time since being injured. And gave a very heartfelt, emotional speech to the media. Didn't answer any questions. He just said what he said, and then he walked off. Thomas, you are a Cowboy fan. I'll jump in too as a non-Cowboy fan, but I'll let you talk first as a Cowboy fan. Being Romo all those years and seeing him said what he said, it sounded like a retirement speech at first, but then it slowly didn't, I guess, in a way. But just from a Cowboy fan perspective, what did you think? What did it mean to you to hear Romo say what he said?
Well, first of all, you said it kind of felt like a retirement speech. I honestly didn't get that vibe. I honestly felt like it was just like, hey, Dak earned this spot, fair and square. And I'm going to do what's best for the team and not be selfish and think of myself. I know how bad I want to get back on that field. I know how bad I want to play, but that's not going to help this team win right now. Dak obviously has a hot hand. He's doing well, so I think you need to just go with it. And right now, I'm going to do what I can to help this team win. I'm going to support Dak because I know Dak supported me through my injury, so I got to support him, and I supported him during his while he was coming up as a starter. And you said, how do I feel about it as a Cowboy fan?
Yeah, as a fan, what Romo said to you, how does that speak to you as a fan, knowing that's your quarterback for all those years? How does it feel to hear what he said?
It kind of sucks, man, because a lot of people, they look at him and they see the worst quarterback to ever play football in the NFL, and I don't see it that way. I mean, it's not because I'm a Cowboy fan, but I really don't see him as he's not a bad quarterback. He makes right decisions. He can throw the ball deep. He's elusive. Probably one of the most elusive quarterbacks I've seen his size, because he's not a small guy.
No, definitely not.
But he's no Big Ben. So
yeah.
But he's really elusive for his size, and
he's a leader too.
Yeah, and I think that's what he's going to do. He's going to lead this team, maybe not on the field, but off of it. And that's what he was doing before. Yeah, he's sad, he's emotional. This is his team. This is a team he's grown up with, and I've grown up watching him play for this team. And I don't think he's going to go to another team because I think that'd be just preposterous. You need Tony Romo, not now, obviously, because of what Dak Prescott is doing for this team, but you need Tony Romo. for veteran situations as the playoffs. Who he has experience in. I've said this before. He has experience in the playoffs. Maybe not as much as some other quarterbacks, but Dak Prescott, he doesn't have much experience, and we haven't seen him panic under like high pressure situations. He's kept his poise, and I don't think he'll like panic too crazy. But I think that it could happen sooner or later. But I don't know. I hear people talking and predicting what team Tony Romo's going to go to next season and stuff like that. He's not going anywhere. He's going to stay on the Cowboys because this is where he belongs.
Yeah,
and he said it right before. This is our team.
I feel like Romo would rather retire than be traded away to another team and play. And even if it meant starting again, I still feel like Romo would retire just because, the Cowboys took a chance on him. And he said it himself. He said in his speech yesterday, he said, about Dak, I was that kid once trying to prove myself and make a name. And that really spoke out to me because it's true. Romo was started over Drew Bledsoe, if you remember, in 05, and he was struggling. They put Romo in, and Romo came in. He won the heart of Cowboy fans. He was a young kid having fun, and now Romo said it himself. He said, I was that kid once trying to prove myself, and Dak, he's earned the job. He's earned the right to be this quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys, and just. I'm a Saints fan, not even a Cowboy fan. But, watching and listening to what Romo said, it reminds me of what, Drew Brees. If Drew Brees were in this situation, he would do the same thing, what Romo would do. And I put Romo in that category of those top-tier quarterbacks, up there with the Brees and those other quarterbacks, just because it takes a lot of leadership, and it shows true class to do what Romo did, to say, this is my team. I still love playing for the Dallas Cowboys. I know Dak has the hot hand. He's earned the right to be the quarterback. I'm going to do my best as a teammate and as a veteran player to help coach Dak up for the rest of the season. And it's just like, I tip my hat. That showed that I got a lot of respect for Tony Romo after what he said. And if you have not listened to it yet, go look at it. And if you are going to bash Tony Romo, still, I seriously recommend that you go check yourself, because what he said yesterday really spoke out to me. I give my hat. I tip my hat to that man, because he swallowed the pill, and he's going to be okay with it. It's just that if he's going to get the money, people are going to say, why is Romo upset? Because he's getting paid, I think, $18 million this year just to hold a clipboard and be a backup. People understand. People don't understand because people don't get it, because this team was supposed to be the team that was going to go to the Super Bowl with the high-powered Zeke, Dez being healthy, defense slowly improving, and Romo was the centerpiece of this team. Like, he was the centerpiece, because you saw last year how bad they were without Romo. You had all those quarterbacks come in, they couldn't do anything, and you saw how much they missed Tony Romo, and then Romo came back. Supposed to be his year, his team to go do it all, and he gets hurt. And then Dak just comes in and tears it up, and Romo just says, it is what it is. I will do my best to help out Dak. And it sucks, but I gotta do as a teammate, and that just spoke out to me a lot. From a man perspective. Romo really,
and it's not even like the perspective of a fan. It's just like the perspective as a person. You're just like, wow.
Yeah, that takes a lot of guts. It takes a lot to go up there and say what Romo said, to swallow them, to take the pill that he's probably going to be the backup for the rest of the season, no matter what happens, I would think, honestly. But I love Romo. He's gained a lot of respect just off of that yesterday, and I hope they win a ring. I hope they win a ring for Romo's sake. In all honesty, I would love to see that happen for him.
Yeah.
But, it's funny because Drew Bledsoe actually talked yesterday after Romo's press conference. And if you guys don't know, Bledsoe was the quarterback who got hurt when Brady came in and Brady won the job from that point on. Bledsoe never got the chance to start for Patriots again. But Drew Bledsoe said he takes pride in that Super Bowl ring now. It was bittersweet at first, but he takes pride that he was a part of that team. And I think Romo is the ultimate team guy. He's doing what's best for the Dallas Cowboys, not just what's best for Romo. Like you said, he's not being selfish. He's doing what's best for the team, and that even if that means mentoring Dak Prescott and being the backup quarterback, And it's just, after all the years he took of being hated on by fans just because they thought he was the reason they couldn't do it. But, I mean, reality, the Cowboys in general, Romo was there. They never were a complete team until 2014, really. That's just the truth.
Yeah.
They never had, whether it was the offensive line or the defense or not having a feature running back, it was all blamed on Romo because he's the quarterback. That's how they get judged, if they win games or not. And Romo took the blame for everything, and he just, he stuck out with it. He said, I'm going to do my part for this team. I still love the fans and my teammates and the coaches. And, I just give my respect to Tony Romo. Really do. Love the guy.
Mm-hmm.
I respect the man. He's done a great job with the Cowboys. And give the Cowboys credit for how they've handled, the whole quarterback situation, considering all the questions they've been avoiding and all that good stuff. It's just really good to see Romo come out and just shut everyone up about the controversy. He said,
"Yeah, and
yeah, that's the thing, right?"
And I like how he did it too. Is like he just came in, said what he had to say, and walked out.
Yeah. that's
exactly how it happened. He just came in, said what he had to say. I'm out.
Yeah, because right before Romo actually started, he said, "I'm not going to answer any questions. I hope I answer all or most of the questions in this little speech." He said what he had to say and walked out. It was a heartfelt, powerful message that I think a lot of people, especially all you Tony Romo haters, if you have not seen the speech yet that he gave yesterday, just go watch it. Not even from a football player perspective, just from a man-on-man perspective. Just look at the kind of leadership and team mentality Romo displayed yesterday on that speech. All right,
yeah.
Thomas, are you ready to get out of your feelings now? You ready to get out of your feelings? Talk about more football?
Never in my feelings, man. Come on.
You weren't in your feelings at all after that Romo speech yesterday.
I felt for him and everything like that, but I'm not gonna, cry about it. It's obviously it's a situation that has to be handled by the officials of this team. And I think they handled it the right way. I think Tony Romo handled it the right way. I think Dak handled it the right way when he responded saying that it's our team.
It's not Dak's team, but it is our team. And, and give credit to Dak Prescott for handling this so well. He's only a rookie,
he wasn't like,
handling it.
Romo. He wasn't like, tell me I got the starting job. He was like, okay.
Yeah, I mean, give
team.
credit to both. Give credit to both of them because from Dak's perspective, he said it himself. It's our team. It's not Tony's team or Dak's team. It's our team. And then also, like I said, but Romo, I mean, he's the veteran. He's getting paid all the money. And Romo said, I'll do whatever's best for this team, even if that means being the backup and helping mentor Dak become even a better player. So I give respect to both of them.
And I don't know if if you go on the ESPN app, I was looking at the news. I think it was yesterday. I was looking at the NFL news and everything, and I saw this video called "The Legend of Dak Prescott." If you haven't seen it, go watch it. I highly recommend it. It's amazing. It talks about how he was a kid and his brothers were playing for the high school football team. I think it was in Mississippi or whatever. And Dak was just always running around, while his brothers were playing. And then when he played, it's just he got that starting role as a QB in high school, and they were down late in the game, and he was like, "Don't worry, coach, I got it." And then a couple plays later, he threw the game-winning touchdown, and it talks a lot about his mother too, and how high he holds her, and the stuff that he does is because of her. And it's a really great video. If you haven't watched it, go on the NFL app or the ESPN app, excuse me. Go to NFL, go to the news, and just scroll down and you see. I think it's about like 5 minutes, a little under 5 minutes. Legend of Dak Prescott. You just watch it. It's really good.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about the Cowboys. They have two great quarterbacks, in my opinion, Dak and Romo. But I think they have two, even better. They have two better men who can lead on and off the field than Dak and Tony Romo. And I tip my hat to both of them for how they've handled the situation. Handled it extremely well, considering how other teams and players would handle quarterback controversy. Packers, Brett Favre, and Aaron Rodgers. Anyway, we'll get back to more football talk here, Thomas. So how this next segment, we're looking at the two best divisions in the NFL. The AFC West, the AFC East, the Chiefs, Raiders, Broncos, Chargers, and the NFC East, the Cowboys, Giants, Redskins.
I think you said it right the first
Eagles.
time. I think it is the AFC West.
Yeah, it is. Did I say the West?
Yeah, you said West, and then you corrected yourself saying East.
Oh, well, it's been a long day. I'm still in my feelings from Tony Romo's press conference, people, so just cut me some slack.
All right.
But no, AFC West, NFC East. Thomas, you pick one, I'll pick the other and defend it. So who do you want? AFC West, NFC East. Take your pick. Why is the better division?
Better division?
Yeah.
The AFC West or the NFC East?
Yes.
I probably have to say the AFC West, to be honest.
You got Kansas City, Oakland, and Denver, and San Diego. All right, give me your opening statement on why this is better.
Oh, wow. Putting me around the spot like that. Okay. No, but honestly, I think this division is really competitive. I mean, like already 3/4 of the entire division have 7 wins, and half of that division only has 2 losses. The other half has 3 and then 6. But I mean, I don't know. I really like this division as a whole. Like I for something about the Chiefs. I was cheering for them last year. I think they had a wild card spot in the playoffs last year, and I was like, you know, I'm rooting for the Chiefs. And then I like the Raiders. I like Amari Cooper, Michael Crabtree, Derek Carr, Latavius Murray. I don't know what about this like division. I think it's the best one. It's just everybody's doing well. The Chargers aren't doing that well, but I mean they're not doing bad. They still have a chance to get in the playoffs. I think all these teams do.
Yeah, let me help you out here. Hey, San Diego, they had a rough start. They had close games and lost all of them by crazy, misfortunes. So this team could easily be, 5-4 or 6-3 rather than 4-6, because they had those early, mishaps in those first few games. So this easily could be a 5-4, 6-3 team. But
and 4-6 is not a bad record. You can easily end the season with 10, and you can easily end like the season with like 9-7 or 10-6. It's not bad.
Yeah. I mean, to put into perspective, 4-6 right now will give you a fighting spot in the NFC South, the NFC North, and the AFC North. So I mean, that record gets you decent spot in other divisions. But yeah, I like it, Thomas. I like it. The Chiefs are cold. Then we just Derek Carr has really he's shown up this year, and give Jack Del Rio credit for that. They really. Become a powerhouse team, I think. And Denver, defending Super Bowl champ, says it all right there. But now, It is my turn, my good friend, to prove you wrong on why the NFC East is the best division in football. Look at this team. First of all, everyone here is above 500. The worst team is 5-4. That's the Eagles. Which, it's the Eagles. That makes sense. But look at the team down the board. Dallas is 8-1. I mean, 8-1. Best record in football right now. You look at the number 2 team, the Giants. They beat the Cowboys in Week 1. They're 6-3. They have a very good defense that is coming up on the rise, I think, in my opinion. Eli Manning, Odell Beckham, and all company are putting up points still. In Washington, people forget about the Redskins, but in my opinion, I think Kirk Cousins is definitely one of the younger and more better quarterbacks in the NFL right now. And this offense has tons of playmakers. You got guys like Jordan Reed, Vernon Davis, who's also making plays at tight end. Jamison Crowder has really come on in the last couple of weeks and has played extremely well, extremely good football. And then not to mention you have Pierre Garçon, Deshaun Jackson, the running game with Kelly and Matt Jones. And then lastly, I mean, for the record here, the Eagles were not supposed to be this good. To be honest here, they're 5-4, but I don't think anyone expected them to be a relevant team in the playoff hunt, and they still are. They're 5-4. This is still a team that can make a playoff run, definitely for the wild card spot come December. So I definitely have faith in them, and this is the best division. Everyone's about 500. All these teams have decent offenses at least. They can get the job done. And they all actually have pretty above-average defenses as well, which also helps them out. So that, my friend, is the opening statements for this division. People, if you guys will leave comments in the comment section, tell us who won this battle, Thomas's AFC West crew or my NFC East crew. Okay, Thomas, coming up next.
I disagree.
Wait, what?
No, I was just saying it's hard to
Yeah, I mean, these are both great divisions. I mean, you really can't go wrong with any of these teams. So let's look, Thomas. It's past the halfway point of the season, so I think we can use the P word around here at Pro Football Talk. You know what that P word is?
I'm stumped. No, of course, playoffs.
Playoffs, yes. Playoffs. So let's have a quick look here at the updated playoff pictures after last week's games. So right now, having the number 1 seed in the NFC, of course, would be the Dallas Cowboys at 8-1, which shouldn't surprise anyone, honestly. The number 1 seed. The number 2 seed would be, of course, the Seattle Seahawks, who came off their impressive win Sunday night against New England. Seattle is 6-2-1 after their tie against Arizona a couple weeks back. The number 3 seed would be the Atlanta Falcons, sitting at 6-4, top of the NFC South. Hopefully not for long. Hashtag Who Dat Nation. You caught that. So number 4 would be the only team in the NFC North who didn't win but didn't lose last week. The Detroit Lions they were on a bye this week. The Lions surprisingly are sitting at 5-4, and they have a comfy lead considering Minnesota's dropped its last 4 in a row after the bye. Green Bay is struggling all over the board, and the Bears, well, they have Jay Cutler. That doesn't get you in the playoffs. It never has. So and then of course the 2 wildcard teams, Washington 5-3-1. They're tied coming against the Bengals over in Jolly Old London, and the 5th seed would be the New York Giants, sitting at 6-3. So if the playoffs started today, Dallas. Oh, Thomas, yes.
I honestly don't think the Giants should be number 5. I think they should be number 3, personally. But
Thomas, buddy, we know
it's just my opinion.
The NFL doesn't work that way.
I know it should. It should be based off records. Just keep it plain and simple. Maybe I'm old school, but just keep it plain and simple. You don't have to do all this technical stuff.
Hey. I personally like it because it gives all the sucky teams a chance to make a wild card spot.
NFL
or win the division. Yeah, I think we all are. After Denver and New Orleans game, I'm down with you, Thomas. We'll go.
I know you want to let it off your chest. Just let it out. I know you want to.
I'll wait for the end. I'll save it for the end. But no, as the playoffs start today, Washington will travel to play the Falcons, and the Giants will travel to play the Lions. Dallas and Seattle will be on byes, and in the AFC side, New England and Kansas City would be on byes, both 7-2. New England's number 1 seed, Kansas City's number 2 seed. The number 3 seed, surprisingly, Houston at 6-3. Can you believe that? With Brock Osweiler at quarterback, they are somehow 6-3. Somehow.
I don't understand how Houston is above Denver and Oakland.
Well, Thomas, like you said,
like,
it's your
yeah,
it's
I
your
know.
favorite. It's the jolly NFL playoff system. So
It's bullstick.
the way it gets even better. Listen to this. The number 4 seed would be the Ravens, right? And so the wild card teams would be Denver and Oakland. So if the playoffs started today, New England and the Chiefs are on a bye. Denver would travel to Houston to play the Texans. And Oakland would travel to Baltimore to play the Ravens. So how crazy is that? 7-2 has to go play 5-4 at 5-4's home. How crazy is that, do you think?
I don't even know what to think anymore. I'm probably wrong according to the NFL. I don't even know anymore.
It's the NFL. It's full of the unexpected. Like, unexpectedly, the Raiders will travel to the Ravens to play them in the wildcard round. But that is the NFL. We are forced to accept that fact. But hey, the teams that are in the hunt right now, you got Philly at 5-4 in the NFC, Minnesota 5-4, Arizona 4-4-1, Tampa Bay 4-5, and New Orleans at 4-5. Currently 11th in the seeding, so we need some help to get that one, to get the Saints in the playoffs. But in the AFC, it's a little more competitive because Miami is at 5-4 in the hunt.
And who's the number 8?
Your sleeper team, Thomas, the team that you've been talking about the last couple of weeks, the Titans.
All right, like honestly, if I had a second team, Tennessee would probably be it. Like it's just like watching like a baby like just grow. Like it's like watching your kid grow. It just when I saw them like just decimate the Packers on Sunday, I was just like, I was happy. I was like, yes, I was so happy. And then that trick play by DeMarco Murray throwing a touchdown pass to Delaney Walker. I was like, what?
Well, I'll put it to you like this: DeMarco Murray now has a better quarterback rating than Ryan Fitzpatrick, Blake Bortles, and every other quarterback the Browns have had playing this year. Also, you don't throw in Case Keenum, Jay Cutler, and Colin Kaepernick in that list too. DeMarco Murray has a better quarterback rating than you. What are you doing, NFL? But no, I think the Titans were going to win when DeMarco Murray ripped off a 75-yard touchdown run, and then he threw a touchdown pass. I said Tennessee, they got this game in the books. It's already been set.
I was really happy, really hyped.
The NFL gods have spoken, and Tennessee is slowly on the rise. So to finish out, after Tennessee, it's Pittsburgh 4-5, Indy 4-5. And then down at the very, 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 very bottom of the AFC, still
we're going to talk about them.
Still not mathematically eliminated. They still have a chance somehow. The Cleveland Browns.
You kidding me?
No,
right?
They have not been eliminated yet. Mathematically, they were still in it, but it's impossible. But still, they have a chance.
Like, I'm not asking because like. I'm trying to be like sarcastic. I'm asking because like I literally don't know how are they still in it.
It's mathematically because the division is so bad in the AFC North. They are still mathematically in it. Believe Cleveland fans.
What are you doing, AFC North?
Believe Cleveland. Believe, and you can achieve the impossible. Maybe you'll win a game before you go 0-16. I had to say it. I'm sorry, Cleveland. I'm sorry. I had to get it off my chest. I know last week I was going to give them heat, so I hope they go 0-16 just for the historical factor in that one. Sorry, Cleveland. Nothing personal. It's not you. It's just your team.
Sucks.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
to say the least.
That's the word I wanted to use on air is they suck. Definitely the word I want to use.
Sorry, but not sorry at the same time.
Yeah, it's one of those sorry, not sorry, you know?
All right, okay, all right. I have a serious question, though.
Yeah, what's up?
For the remaining games that the Browns have, if you could pick one team that they could possibly beat, who do you think it would be?
That's not fair because I don't think they'll beat anyone. No.
All right, well,
seriously.
just have a little hope. Just have a little hope.
We'll play a game with this one. Who will Cleveland beat? So look at the rank schedule. They're home for the Steelers, home for the Giants, home for the Bengals. They have 3 straight home games. Then they travel to Buffalo, and then San Diego comes to visit the Browns. Then they go to Pittsburgh for the last game of the season. So if I could see them beating anyone, man, this is hard. I think they're gonna lose all of them. But did I say that on air? Oh, my bad.
Said it out loud.
That was meant for my head. Yeah, no comment. But I mean, honestly, if I had to pick a game where they could win, I have to say San Diego is the one team I think they could beat.
Yeah, that was honestly the one.
That's the one. That's the one team I can maybe see it happening. Maybe not. But
because even though they lost against the Ravens, I think Joe Flacco threw a pick or 2.
He threw 2. Yeah,
he
threw 2 picks
to the Browns' defense. I mean,
hey,
all hope is not lost. I promise you.
No, I agree. I'm still on the Cleveland bandwagon.
No, but I do agree. If it was one team, I think it would have to be San Diego, just because of the fact that Phillip Rivers threw 4 interceptions against the Miami defense, who is not that good, to be honest.
Yeah,
they're really not.
Yeah, I agree. But let me just say this, Thomas. If they beat the Giants, this little argument we had earlier about the best division of football, you win regardless. Just know that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. If the Giants lose, you will win it regardless. Because I mean, yeah, there's nothing I really can't say. You're gonna win that one regardless if the Giants lose. But yeah, so I think we both agree. San Diego, maybe San Diego, possibly. The one
possibly.
Game? Yeah. You want to go watch the game at Cleveland? I mean, yeah, we'll take a road trip.
That was a good one.
That was a
good one. I'm not spending money on a Cleveland ticket. Come on now.
Hey, they're cheap. They're probably like $15.
Yeah, they're cheap, but the trip isn't.
Hey, that's okay. It's the journey that counts. Am I wrong? The journey probably is going to be better than the game. The journey's going to be better than the game, probably. The journey will be better than the game.
This isn't right. The football gods are not liking this. We're being way too biased.
Yeah, we have to give some credit to San Diego. I bet Phillip Rivers throws 3 picks instead of 4. That's my non-biased opinion. He throws 3 instead of 4, and the Chargers win in overtime.
2 of them to Joe Hayden.
No,
2 of them to Joe Hayden.
Wait, let me ask you this. So if they tie the game, does that count as a loss? What if you look at?
I'd say no. I'd say no, just off the sheer fact that they didn't lose. The other team did not outscore them. So I mean, I counted it as a win for Cleveland. If they were to go 0-15-1, you know what? That's a good season. That's a good season right there.
That just sounds so Cleveland, honestly. That sounds like something the Browns could pull off. 0-15-1. That's my new motto for life. I'm gonna go 0-15-1. God, Cleveland Browns, what are you doing? Like, imagine how sad. Because I mean, at least the 2008 Lions can say, at least we didn't tie a game. We were just that bad.
I mean,
but then again,
the Browns could also say we were that good to tie.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Cleveland. I really am sorry.
All apologies, you know.
I am so sorry. You guys are the worst team in football. Okay, so let's agree, Thomas. We'll take a road trip to San Diego or to Cleveland on December 24th. Oh,
the 24th.
Maybe a little Christmas magic will happen for the Browns and they'll win the game.
Wow, that would be a great Christmas present.
Well,
honestly, to get your first win.
Your first win comes at Christmas time. Do you know how late in the season that is? Like, gosh.
I think we spend a little bit too much time talking about the Browns. You know.
Yeah, normally no one should be talking about the Browns this long. On average, talks about the Browns last like maybe a minute if you're lucky.
Yeah, good or bad, it shouldn't take this long.
Yeah, good or bad, it should not take this long. We are sorry, everyone. We just got caught up in the Brown in Believeland itself.
You know, Terrell Pryor. I will say, I am really believing in Terrell Pryor.
Oh, he's cold.
To make that switch from quarterback to wide receiver, and to be that good at wide receiver.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That's insane, dude. Come on.
With all the quarterbacks he's had in Cleveland. But I mean, I will say Cleveland. I think they have the right coach in Hugh Jackson. I definitely believe that. They need time to rebuild and build a team because they have like 19 rookies. They have 19 rookies on the roster. That's most in the NFL right now.
So that's insane.
Yeah, 19 rookies. That's definitely a memorable rookie season if you go 0-16. You'll never forget. You'll never forget that one. Okay, Thomas. Enough Cleveland Brown talk. We've talked about them too long. So before we do our famous picks, let's do. I know you've been dying to attack this all day. So the power rankings. Yeah.
The
power rankings. Before we do our picks, let's get right into the power rankings. Thomas, you want to break the news to everyone who the number one team in the power ranking is now?
The number one team in the NFL power rankings, according to ESPN, is the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, that's great.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, I could agree. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Go Dak Prescott, yeah.
The best team in the league as of right now. Yeah, I don't want to say too much because I just have a feeling like karma's just going to come in my face and slap me.
Gods.
Like just come to my face and just like slap me in the face like 1, 2, and then
you're done. Yeah,
football gods are just. So I'm not going to say too much about it. I'm just going to say that number one team in the league are the Cowboys.
You know what the gods are going to do to you, Thomas, if you keep talking about the Cowboys being the number one team. You know what they're going to do to you?
They're probably going to put Tony Romo in.
No, they're going to give you something in the mail. It's going to be free Cleveland Brown tickets. That's what they're going to give you.
That'd probably just be like giving me coal at Christmas.
Why?
If we're being honest.
Why are we so mean to Cleveland? Why?
They don't deserve this, but it's just they're doing it to themselves. They're shooting themselves in the foot more than once in the same bullet hole.
Cleveland. You're like that sad sitcom that just never goes away, and it's not the good kind of sitcom either.
All right, power rankings.
Okay, power rankings. Yeah, let's have a look-see here. According to the ESPN power rankings, the top 10 teams in the NFL right now. Number one, as Thomas mentioned many times throughout the day, and like 10 times on the podcast so far.
Mm-hmm.
Number one team, Dallas Cowboys, which that shouldn't surprise anyone at this point. Number two, Seattle, after they beat New England on Sunday night, which I could probably agree with that one. I could agree with Seattle. Number three, the New England Patriots, after their loss, still 7-2, nothing to worry about. Seattle's a good team. I shouldn't be worried about them. And number four is going to be Denver. Yeah, we're gonna talk about this one in a minute, buddy. We're talking about Denver in a second.
Yeah, I agree.
We'll definitely talk about Denver in their power rankings here in a second. Number five, still the Chiefs. They moved up 6 spots actually. Number 5 now in the NFL. I'm glad they're getting top 5 recognition because this team is really, really good. The Chiefs are 17-2 in their last 19 games, dating back to last year. And that included a 10-game winning streak, if I recall, to get in the playoffs last year. So
you said 17-2?
Yes, in the past 19 games, going back to last year.
That's absurd.
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't realize that. But wow.
And then you mentioned the thing with the Chiefs, they have 15 in that span, 19 games, 17-2, right?
Mm-hmm.
They've given the ball away 15 times, so 15 turnovers, right? But they have 45 takeaways in those 19 games. 45.
That is
so absurd. And 6 of those came to Ryan Fitzpatrick. I'm kidding. Oh man, I'm sorry, Fitzpatrick. I just had to. 6 of those turnovers came to Ryan Fitzpatrick when he threw 6 picks. Oh, the Jets win next week's punchline. Thomas, can we agree to that? We'll get on Ryan Fitzpatrick next week. I promise.
Oh yeah.
So after that, number 6, the Oakland Raiders. Which interesting fact here? Did you know that the Raider and Texan game this week on Monday night is going to be played in Mexico City? Did you know that?
Well, I'm looking at it right now, but no, I did not know. But I'm looking at it, so I kind of do know. I didn't know when you told me. I do know now. That confused anybody. I'm sorry.
Playing in Mexico City, Mexico. That's gonna be that's gonna be fun. That's gonna be cool. Football back in Mexico. Apparently, according to my dad, the Cowboys played back in Mexico back in the in the 90s.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Neither did I. I thought my dad told me. He's a lifelong Cowboy fan. Woo. So, number 7, the Falcons, which after losing to the Eagles, they moved down 5 spots out of the top 5. Number 8 is Philly. After shutting down the Falcon offense pretty much all game, Philly moved up 18 spots.
Yeah, I saw that. Just right now, I was like, wow.
It's impressive.
Like, holy hell.
It's pretty generous boosting, if I do say so myself. Number 9, the Steelers actually did not move at all. It looks like they stayed at 9 last week, and they are still at number 9 after that game against the Cowboys. But hey, for the bright side, they're playing the Browns next week. That's always an uplifting thing,
Well, have another bye week.
Oh man, you have to go that far. I mean, I was gonna say that.
I didn't mean like that, but what's it called? Have you seen that? I think it was on Twitter. It was like the Cowboys had a bye week, and then they played the Browns next week, and they were like, "Oh, it's so nice for the NFL to give the Cowboys a second bye week." And when I saw that, I was like, "Wow." That was probably one of the funniest things I've seen all year.
Cleveland, just know we here at Pro Football Talk Podcast, we love and support you guys through your tough times. We just like making fun of your NFL team.
If you can see me, I'm shaking my head no.
If you can see my head, I'm shaking no. I'm shaking no as well, honestly. Man, but number 10 to round off the top 10, Arizona, which I mean, I don't know if you put them in the top 10 because they did just play the 49ers, and they're the NFC equivalent to the Cleveland Browns. Sorry, Niner fans. But it's true. They are the equivalent to the Browns in the NFC. So I don't know if you get Arizona back in the top 10.
Yeah.
But anyway, all right, Thomas, I'm about to let it all out now. Are you okay with that about this past game?
Yeah, just I know you want to. Just let it flow.
The Denver Broncos should not be in the top 10. New Orleans should have beat the Broncos. You clearly see Park's white shoes are out of bounds. Well, I mean, you can't clearly see because it's white on white, but still. If you draw a line down the sideline to where his foot was at and where the sideline is, the man should have like a 4 centimeter wide foot, which no human has that. So clearly he was out of bounds. And my question to the NFL is, why don't you have cameras down the sideline so you can see clearly when players are in or out of bounds? In my opinion, but
I thought it was clear.
Yeah, I thought it was clear too, but apparently the Zebras did not think that it was clear enough. Mm-hmm. But, I've learned from Cowboy fans, referees never make the right call. And you
see, now it's time for the Saints fans to just get a piece of that cake that we didn't want any part of. It's all bitter and spoiled, has maggots and stuff crawling all over it. Now you guys got to taste.
I was imagining like strawberry cake is something we don't want. But
no, this is not strawberry cake. You had to taste what we had to taste. And then for so long, you just still have people throwing it in our face. It wasn't a catch. Like, it's over now, dude. Like, why do you have to say that? It's done. It's over.
Yeah.
No point.
I mean, you just got to move on, you know? I mean, it's the NFL. It's all about that. And then when asked about it this week, Sean Payton just said, you know, they made the call. I thought it was out of bounds, but we just got to move on. We got Carolina on Thursday night on a short week, so just get ready for that game. Get back to 500 and possibly contend for the division still. So, yeah, clearly out of bounds, but clearly not clear enough to the NFL. So, Thomas, I think me and you will make that trip to the NFL building if you still want to talk to them about the playoffs and how that's set up.
Yeah, you could talk to them about the referees. I'm going to talk to them about the power rankings because I swear the Broncos should not be number 4. I think number 4 should be the Chiefs, and number 5 should be the Raiders. I think Denver should probably
number 6.
Yeah, and I think and thinking about it, like looking at who number 10 is, and then looking at who number 11 and 12 are. I honestly probably think the Redskins should be number 10.
Or Detroit. You make argument for either one.
Yeah, or even Detroit.
Yeah, definitely Detroit. Because given, I think 5 or 4 of their wins all came in the last minute of the fourth quarter. It just shows you how clutch Stafford is and has been over his career with Detroit. They lost Calvin Johnson, but thank God they did not lose Matthew Stafford.
And if you start looking like at number 14 and start going down, you see some teams with like 6 wins and stuff like that. And then when you look at 9 and 10, you see 4 wins and 5 losses. Like the Pittsburgh Steelers are negative, 4 wins, 5 losses, and then you have the Texans who are 6 and 3, and the Giants who are 6 and 3. You probably should be in those spots. Arguably.
Yeah, that is true. Just because, I mean, like I'm looking at it right now with you. How the Giants, number 16, after the performance they gave on Monday night, which I thought that was their best of the season.
Yeah, I mean,
all aspects of the team, like offense, defense, it all came together. And then Miami, how are they 17th in the NFL? And Thomas, how are your kids, the Titans, number 19, after they smacked the Packers? Like your own children are number 9. How does that make you feel?
It hurts, man. It really does.
It hurt. Yeah. I think we need to go we head to the ESPN building and the NFL building, and we'll have a chit chat with all those.
But the Packers, they went down 11 spots.
Oh, Green Bay! I don't know what's wrong with you guys. Remember last week I told you I would smash that panic button if I was a Green Bay fan.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, I taped it together just because I realized they're playing the Titans this week, and they should just beat them no problem. Yeah, I smashed it again, and I'm not going to fix it.
You need a new panic button.
Yeah, I'm going to need multiple panic buttons just because I think Tennessee or Green Bay's in some serious trouble if they don't get it together, just because Detroit is kind of on the rise right now. All right, so the last thing we're going to do before we sign off today, Thomas, as you know, we'll give our picks, our famous lock and upset picks. So, do you have the schedule in front of you, or do you already know who you're going to choose?
It's week 11, right?
Yes.
All right, I'm looking it up right now.
All right, so I guess I'll go ahead and give my 2 picks really quick. I want to pick the Browns so bad. There's an upset, but I'm not going to. I have common sense. Oh wow! I'm not gonna do that to myself. So my lock, I'm gonna have the Chiefs over the Buccaneers. It's my lock because it's at Kansas City, and Jameis Winston. They just played the Bears and had a great game, but it is the Bears, so I take nothing away from that game. So I think Chiefs can beat the Bucs, and that's my lock. My upset is going to be. I pick New Orleans over Carolina as my upset. The Saints will upset the Panthers on Thursday night, tomorrow night.
Man, there's some games there's a couple of games that I want to pick as upsets. One of them would make somebody really mad. And the other one just seems like
picking Cleveland.
No.
Picking Cleveland.
No.
Cleveland.
No. It really wasn't.
Is it Baltimore?
Honestly, yeah. Honestly,
I mean, Thomas, we are fans of the podcast. In the podcast, we are non-biased NFL
gentlemen.
Experts. Exactly. So it's okay
NFL
to pick against your team.
Gentlemen, people, podcast speakers,
Brown haters. I mean, I didn't say that out loud. No one heard that.
No, but like the other one I was thinking is I think Houston could probably upset the Raiders.
Oh, is it that Mexican magic you're feeling down in Mexico? Is that what it is?
No. Dang, it's honestly don't know. Because there's a couple of games I want to click as upsets. I think the Bengals would probably beat the Bills. I think the Ravens could possibly upset the Cowboys. I think the Texans could possibly upset the Raiders. The only one that I see as a lock is the Patriots and the Niners. But then again, last week I thought the Patriots was a lock against the Seahawks, and the Seahawks proved me wrong.
Thomas, you didn't say the other lock was the Steelers over the Browns. Are you telling me you have hope?
Shut up, Alec.
You didn't mention the Browns as a lock game.
Shut up.
If you want the safe bet, you really should just pick anyone playing Cleveland, unless it's San Diego, because that's our head scratcher game.
No, actually, you know what? I'm gonna go with my babies. I have the Titans upsetting the Colts. I don't know if that's upset. I don't know if that's an upset, but it's an upset. I have my babies, the Titans, upsetting the Colts, and I have and then I have for a lock. I have the Redskins beating the Packers on Sunday night.
That's gonna be your lock. Ooh,
yeah.
Okay.
I
like that one.
I don't see the Packers. I just don't see the Packers getting on a roll anytime soon.
Are you gonna smash that panic button again?
The panic button's gone. It's in pieces. I can't find it.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so quick recap. I'm picking the Chiefs as my lock. The Saints in an upset win. Thomas is picking the Titans in an upset, and the Redskins as a lock on Sunday Night Football. All right, Thomas, any last words before we sign off?
Go Cleveland.
Well, we are unbiased NFL experts, so we always root for the losing
underdogs.
Team. That's
don't call them the losing team. That's offensive. They're called underdogs.
They are underdogs indeed. All right, everybody, come back. Join us next week. We'll have Tony back in town next week. Also, all the latest highlights. False? Oh, well.
I said possibly. I said possibly.
Yeah. Okay. So, possibly we'll have Tony back next week. Check us out. Our new website is up today, actually. It is www.profootballtalkpodcast.weebly. Check it out.
We'll see
guys.
if Tristan can put it in the descriptions.
Yeah, Tristan can probably add it in.
And then we'll see if he can put our Twitter handles on the description too, so you guys can interact with us and tell us how much you hate us and stuff like that. So yeah.
I think it's only the Brown fans that are going to do that to us, honestly.
Yeah.
All right,
most
guys,
likely.
That's the video from Pro Football Talk. I'm Alec and Thomas. Don't forget to check out the video on the website. And we will see you guys next week.